What's going on, guys? It's Colin. And I figured I would just take this opportunity where I am heading out on a Wednesday evening to record a motovlog that'll get uploaded on Friday. So there will not be any time-sensitive material contained in this video. What I will say is that by the time this airs, I will have gone up to Perth Andover to do my evening set at Larley Creek, and I will have returned. So some video footage of that festival will probably be featured on Monday. And while I was driving to this point, because I didn't want to show you the same boring road, something big died on the front of my helmet, like a bug of some kind, but it was big and juicy, and it made a very audible ping when it hit the helmet. So I'm going to see if I can go back in the footage and find that exact moment of impact. And if I do find it, I'm going to insert it into this commentary for your amusement. Ah, Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, so someone, and I forget the username right off the top of my head, it's Diesel something, some number, my friend in New Zealand. Anyway, he suggested that a good topic of conversation would be, how do I manage my time to do all the things I'm doing, and how do I plan to make music my living? So I'm going to start with the second question. Do I plan to make music my living? So what I'm putting in place right now is about a 2-year plan that, if everything goes well, would see me retiring prematurely from my career as an engineer and becoming a musician full-time. In the meantime, there's some things that have to happen to make that work, and obviously, my album coming out and being well received is a big part of that. Also, for the remainder of this year, I do have a tour booked for 2 weeks in November. I will do a couple of tours in 2019. I will also be applying to a whole bunch of festivals. So next year will be a year of getting my foot into as many doors as I possibly can. Next year also marks like the 20th anniversary of me working, years of service with my company. So there was a bit of time while I was in university that counts as well. But yeah, so I mean, I'm quickly becoming what is known as a lifer, and I kind of never thought that I'd be there that long, to be honest. But things are good. My passion has certainly shifted, and obviously I have 2 kids as well. So there's a bunch of things that I want to have settled before I attempt to make a career in music. Financially, getting some things taken care of around the house while I still have credit. I'm just kidding. I'm not spending myself into debt, because that's exactly the position I don't want to be in. But I'm trying to do things smart and build up the music and my reputation as a performer, and being professional and all that kind of stuff, making connections, networking. It's all part of it. And I know a lot of people who consider themselves career musicians that they have some other job to supplement their income, and if I want to do it, I want to do it right and make sure that my family's not going to starve if things don't go well. I'm very fortunate that my wife is supportive. She has a good job, so we've always lived well within our means, and so that kind of puts because we always wanted to be in a position that if one of us wasn't working for whatever reason, that would be okay. And so yeah, worst case scenario, I'm a musician and I have 0 income, which won't happen. I'll have some income one way or the other. But yeah, I would be in an okay spot. Obviously not ideal, but okay. So yeah, I'm slowly but surely trying to work my way towards that. And I wasn't the most concise nor articulate in discussing that plan, because riding, talking, same time, Anyway, but yeah, the short answer is, yeah, I'm trying. I'm not ready just yet, but soon. And the other thing is, like, how do I manage my time? So, you know, I think that in my case, I'm married, I have 2 kids. Having my partner be supportive and on the same page is extremely important, and none of this would be possible without her. On the flip side, I also make sure that I do my best to give her the time to herself that she needs. She plays roller derby. You know, I want to make sure that she gets out to do the things she enjoys doing, hanging out with her friends, that sort of thing. And of course, healthy relationship, we have to make time with each other too, and with my family and my kids and all of those things. So, you know, we basically rely heavily on a Google Calendar to keep a lot of things straight, because we're going in different directions a lot of the time. You know, laying out the 7 days of the week. Sunday, you know, I have band practice fairly often, not every Sunday, but that's for a couple of hours, and make sure to spend, you know, some time with the family. Any work that needs to be done around the house. You know, we're not neat freaks by any stretch of the imagination, and that helps a great deal. We also want to make sure the house is livable, but, you know, it's all about finding that balance. So yeah, like Sundays, bit of band practice, bit of family time. Monday and Wednesdays, she's often playing roller derby. My oldest daughter also started in that fantastic sport, and she plays on, well, she has practices on Mondays and Thursdays. So, you know, usually those nights I'm helping to run kids. Tuesday evenings are often a rehearsal. Wednesdays more derby. Thursdays more derby. But Thursday nights, like, my younger daughter can kind of tag along, so if I need to do some music stuff on Thursdays, that happens. Friday and Saturdays are often gig nights. Sometimes they're derby bouts. You know, just, and both girls also play basketball and take piano lessons. So, you know, we have to have 2 vehicles. That's pretty much an absolute necessity where we live anyway, because it's, we're 10 minutes from town, but we're 10 minutes from anything. And there's no public transit out where we are. So, yeah, man, it's just planning, supportive partner, making sure that if, you know, if she looks like she needs some time to herself, she gets it. And, you know, she looks after me. I look after her. We look after each other. Make sure the kids are happy. And, you know, with work, I try and find little bits of time to, you know, if I'm on my lunch break, I'll catch up on some music paperwork and whatnot. It's just trying to be very, very efficient, you know. And what I've given up in order to make all this work is, like, I don't spend time watching shows on TV. You know, there's like a new season of Better Call Saul that is now out on Netflix Canada, which is old news to some of you, I'm sure, but, like, I haven't seen it, and I probably won't see it for like 6 months. You know, it's yeah, that type of entertainment, spending a lot of time playing video games or browsing the internet, and, like, those are things of the past for me at the moment. You know, sometimes I still take time and just chill. Every couple of weeks I need to just unplug and recharge, and I'll do something sort of mindless to entertain myself. But, you know, it's yeah, just a lot of planning and keeping the calendar up to date. And, you know, the kids, the nights where my wife is out at roller derby, she's usually gone till like 10 at night. That's, you know, I put the kids to bed, that's when I'll practice or do some songwriting, that kind of thing. It's all about just taking those gaps of spare time that otherwise would have gone to some other activity that wasn't, you know, moving my goals forward, and eliminating those and doing productive things instead. I also mentioned that I gave up beer earlier in the year. I actually gave up all alcohol. Just because it was holding me back, and I had a lot of stuff that I wanted to get done. And initially I was just going to do that for a month, just to, you know, see if I could. And at the end of that month, I had written a few songs, much greater output than I normally would have. I was sleeping better. I had lost some weight. I had more energy, and I was able to do more and more things. So yeah, I decided to make that change permanent. So to the boys that are going on the trip with me, the motorcycle trip next weekend, don't worry, I still know how to have fun. As Jason Isbell says, quitting drinking isn't for everyone. And yeah, in my case, it really was just a step that I initially thought was a good idea, to try and just get some more energy and get more time out of my day. Get more out of my time and use the day more productively, and sleep better, and so yeah, it's had a positive impact. And so that helped a lot, actually, because I am 40, and staying, just everything doesn't quite work as well as it used to if you don't get the right amount of rest and all that. Don't worry though, everything still works just fine. You know what I'm saying? Some of you probably didn't want to know, but everything's good. When I say life's good, But yeah, I had to make some changes to fit everything in, and keep functioning at my job and all that. So that's the long and short of it. That's what I've been doing to make it all work. And I think part of it is that in just getting out and playing music and meeting new people and networking and making some really meaningful friendships and relationships, new relationship in my life. And I have some long-standing amazing friends, and they're all still my friends now. But I do have the right people in the right places to help me on this music journey and support me. And people are super supportive, and the community here is really supportive. So all of that just serves to motivate me further, and just do better. Like every show, just try and do a little bit better. As I talked about in the guitar video where I was going through open tuning, right? It's not about waking up one day and magically I've cleared some hurdle that I was nowhere near clearing before. Just every time going out and trying to be only comparing really myself to myself. Obviously looking at, I go to a lot of shows and I try and learn from people. If somebody is better than me at something, whether that's playing guitar, singing, songwriting, whatever, or they do something that I really enjoy or I look up to, then I pay attention and I try and learn. Just keep your mouth shut and learn. I don't know who the quote's attributed to, but it's like, if you open your mouth and speak, you're only going to repeat what you already know. You don't learn unless you shut up and listen. And kind of that's what I've been doing, just listening to as much stuff as I can, going to as many shows as I can, and taking it all in and learning. I like to go to a lot of smaller sort of intimate shows because you can go hang out with the artist afterwards. Tonight I'm going to go see Fred Eaglesmith. That show starts in about 8 minutes. I was just a little bit slow getting out of the house, but I'm almost to the venue. I took a bit of a roundabout way to make sure I had time to kind of finish this moto vlog. Before I got there, I'm gonna have to scrape whatever the fuck this thing is that died on my face mask. My face shield is before I drive home. And that's one of the reasons I had to turn around. I forgot my my glasses. They're not prescription glasses, but I have eye protection even with the full face shield, I like to vent the shield, so I want eye protection on. And I left the clear lenses at home. So I had to go back. I'm running a little bit later than I would like, and I'm going to stop for this. Somewhat abruptly, if you will. But yeah, we're on the Hanwell Road. If any of you are familiar with Fredericton, then kind of know where I'm at. But I cut through town. Anyway, if you know Fredericton, you'll know what I did. If you don't know Fredericton, it won't matter. But I took a bit of a roundabout way. And I went from one extremity of the city to the other while speaking. So I started talking just as I entered city limits. That can give you a bit of perspective on just how massive and expansive this city is not. That's why I say it is called a city, but for many of you, it is just a big town. And for some of you, it's not even that big of a town. No, don't slow down. Alright, he's gonna pick up the pace, so that's good. Real good. Yeah, we've had some wicked weather, like crazy thunderstorms the past few days. We've had like a sustained heat wave. It's cooled off, so it's only like 27 degrees right now, and it's not calling for thunder showers tonight, so I brought the bike. I hope I don't regret that. Anyway, that's kind of what I'm up to, and if you made it this far in the video, thanks for listening, guys. I know that I don't sit down with like the facts and the numbers and make my points the best when I'm riding, but hopefully the combination of the scenery whizzing by and the dulcet tone of my speaking voice crammed inside a sweaty motorcycle helmet adds up to something that equals entertainment. I'll probably leave this running until I actually pull into the venue, which is Grimross Brewing Company. They're an incredible supporter of live music. I used to play shows there a couple of years ago, and like literally a full house was 10, 15 people max. And they expanded to the point where we could have shows of about 100 people. And, you know, they've had a further expansion, so now the seating capacity is like 150, 200. And if they remove the tables, the standing room capacity is up to 420. That's right, folks, 420. $420. Blaze it, motherfuckers. We'll talk on Monday. Cheers.